We're live.
All right. Good afternoon. It is Monday, August 14th, 2023. I'm Linda Daniels, and welcome to Lunch with Linda. You are now inside Northampton Wolves. And again, remember, you can watch us live. You can watch us later on Facebook, and you can always watch us on our YouTube channel, Inside Northampton Wolves. I want to say hello to everybody. Please say hello back so I know that you're watching. Let us know what you think, or if you have any questions, we're happy to help you. We are smack dab in the middle of the I-91 summer vacation shop hop. If you are participating in the shop hop, you've got another few days. It ends on Saturday, actually. And we are ready to stamp your passport, to help you fill out a form for the daily drawing. We've had some great daily prizes to give away, and to show you what our free pattern is for all of the shop hoppers. So make sure you take advantage of that. If you are interested in doing it, we do still have shop hop bags left that you can purchase with the passport for $10, and it has all of the information on it that you might need. So since we're in the middle of it, we have heard a number of stories from the shop hoppers that have visited us so far, and it's been really interesting to see the number of people that choose to do it on their own. They're just out there hopping around by themselves, visiting all 8 shops. The people that we've had, a couple of people that are trying to do it all in one day. When we first started this, there were 12 shops, and that was really difficult. But now that we're down to 8, it might be a little bit easier to do in one day. But it really is better to take a little bit more time, do it over a couple days, so that you really get to spend some time in each shop and see just what the individual kind of feel of each shop is, because we're all a little bit different. So we've heard from people that are traveling in groups, and some of them have what I call their designated driver. Sometimes that is one of the people that is participating, and sometimes it is that designated husband or boyfriend who has the job of doing all the driving from New Haven all the way up to Putney, Vermont. That means that all the participants in the car can knit while they hop from store to store to store. And that's always fun to think about that, having a designated driver, so that you can either explore the things that you've already purchased or start working on one of the projects that you've decided to do. And one of the things that I think people need to do every single year for the shop hop is have a little bit of a plan. So you know where you're starting, which shop you're hitting, how to take advantage of the different routes to each shop so that you make the best use of your time, and to plan those bathroom breaks, because not every shop has bathroom access. And then of course to think about where you're going to eat, what's for lunch, and how close is it to the shops. So those are our tips, or things to think about if you are doing the shop hop this week. We'll be open sporadically today. I need to leave at about 2:45. I'm going to get a haircut, and then I'll be back a little after 3:30, and we'll be open today until 5. And then tomorrow, Adrian will be here from 10 to 5. So we've got extended hours this week. And then the rest of the week, Wednesday through Saturday, will be our regular shop hop hours. On Sunday, the shop owners all meet down at Margie's in Connecticut, and we kind of do a quick review of what worked, what didn't, what we saw, what people were buying, and most importantly, we take all those finished passports and choose the winner of the grand prize. So hopefully it's somebody that I know. I hope. This week we have a very special trunk show by Jessalu. We have the Jessalu bags. She came in on Friday late to set up because she was on her way to another show, but I got a chance to really have a nice conversation with her, and I had not had time to do that before. But she's been in business for 16 years and turned this bag making business into such a successful one that she was able to leave her regular 9-to-5 jobs. We've got some of the samples here. Now, we only have this many bags in the store until Wednesday. So although we have some regular stock, we have more than normal right now because it's a trunk show. So this is what she calls her
Wedge.
Tall wedge. This is the tall wedge. And we picked this fabric out because it says knitting is the answer. I don't care what the question was. And then if I'm sitting, I'm knitting. And a whole bunch of other little fun sayings. But this is the smallest, or one of the smallest bags that she makes. And each bag has a zippered top and a gusseted bottom so that it will sit on the table. And what she also pointed out was that you can fold the top of the bag over so that it really stays open, so that your yarn, when you're working with it, fits right in there and you have easy access to it. There aren't any pockets, but this is a project bag, so you know exactly what you've got in each one of the bags. So this is the tall wedge. Then she makes the large wedge, which is a bit bigger. Same kind of idea, a great zipper, really fun lining. And this bag will also fold over. It's a little bit bigger, probably hold a couple skeins of yarn. This small one is a great sock or hat project. This one is, you can carry a little bit more yarn with you. And then the largest bag is the, she calls it the TWSS, that's what she said, size, as you can imagine. And they all have that gusseted bottom. And the fabrics that she uses on the inside for the lining is just as much fun as the fabrics on the outside. So again, this is probably a sweater size bag. If you're traveling and you want to carry all of the yarn that you need to complete your project, this is the bag that you'll want to have. And that also will sit up when it's stuffed with yarn. It will sit up square on the table just like that. The other thing that's fun about the bags is that she puts her little trademark symbol, B with Swarovski crystals, on each zipper as a pull. And then she has the little ribbon tabs so you can clip it onto, clip your keys on it. I don't know what else you would clip on, but oh yes, we do.
I know, my favorite
tape measure, the most important tool. You can clip right onto the outside. Any kind of little tag or something that you can put on. So like I said, they're here until Wednesday. So you've got the rest of tomorrow and Wednesday morning, because she will be coming in the afternoon to pick up what's left. They're not on the website. They are only available in the shop. Did you pan over and show?
Oh, let's do
show
that.
them. Let's show them what we've got, so you can choose your favorite.
Those are some big ones. I love that design with the black background. Small wedges. Yeah.
All right. That's Jessalu.
I hope they didn't get seasick.
And we really thank her for doing the trunk show at this time of year for us when she's busy with lots of fairs and other craft fairs that she's doing. But the bags are well made. She's been around for a long time, and that alone says something about the quality of her bags. So I wanted to show you some of the new things that we got in, and one of them is completely and totally Eileen's fault. So these are the new dipped pom-poms from Schildkraft. They are our pom-pom supplier. They're a company in New York, and I hope you can see that it's not just a regular pom-pom. First of all, they're supersized. Secondly, all of the tips are a different color, and these are all dyed. These are not the natural colors, but they're all recycled fur, and most of them are raccoon. So Steve from Schildkraft, I'm not exactly sure where he gets them, but he does dye them all. And this is a teal. It probably doesn't show that well on the camera,
yeah.
but teal with a little bit of an orange tip to it. And then look at this one. Look how fluffy and drapey these are. It's so, so cute. Okay, we got a lot of really fun colors, really gorgeous feeling pom-poms. But I want to talk a little bit more about why the ribbon and what you should do to use these. So first of all, the whole reason the ribbon is on here, look at this.
Ugh.
Is that luxurious?
That one's so pretty.
It's so luxurious. The whole reason the ribbon is on here is so that you can take the pom-pom off the hat when you either wash it or retire the hat. Because these are, I'm going to say, heirloom quality. They're not inexpensive. They're $44 a piece. They are real fur. You don't want them to go through the washing machine. If they get squashed or dirty, Steve says to just spray it with a little spray of water and wipe it, and that will bring it back to its original life. But how should you put these on your hat? I've done this before, but I think it's worth doing again. So when you are ready to put this on a hat, I think I'll do this one. I don't care if you're not a pink girl. This pink with orange, it's just, Okay, we've got a couple of Barbie World hats here. This is one of them. And again, I don't know if this will show up completely, but this is actually 2 shades of pink in there. And this hat, this pom-pom is gonna look delicious on it. So first of all, what you want to do is take each ribbon and one at a time, thread it to a tapestry needle, and on the side, not right down in the center, but to the side of the center, thread one of them. And the other ribbon goes through the other side. There's the center, and we go to the other side of the center and stick it in there. Now your ribbons are in there, and if you tie it, it's sort of stable if you tie it tightly, but there's a way to help the stability of the pom-pom so it doesn't do this. You want it to stay firmly against the hat. So what we do in that case is find a big button. It can be flat, it can be curved, but now we're going to feed each ribbon through the button just like that. Pull that nice and tight. Now that button is giving some stability to the top of the hat, and it sits right underneath the pom-pom. So I'm gonna, these ribbons are satiny, so they're, even if you tie it in a knot like that, they're really gonna come undone pretty easily. You might just have to poke at it a little bit, but I'm gonna make a bow. And there, look at how that pom-pom just sits right on, it's getting blown, but sits right on the hat, and it doesn't really flop around all that much at all.
Beth says she prefers the tie-on to the snap-on.
Definitely. There's more, it holds that a whole lot better.
And are there all the pom-poms the same size?
Pretty much. I've noticed that there were a couple, depending on the color, that might be a little bit smaller. Some of them are really, really fluffy like that. And some of them are a little bit, most of them are pretty big. Oh my God, look at that one. That golden purple.
Whoa.
Again, I don't know if you can really see the tip that well, but it
sort of
is
shows
tipped,
up, yeah.
tipped in purple.
Wow.
Oh, they're just so luxurious. All right, so we've
And
got...
Eileen is wondering, why isn't her false?
Because I think you said, oh my God.
Oh, at the show?
At the show.
Oh.
At the show. Okay, so those are the new fur pom-poms and your tip for how to attach them. So I finally finished, which leads us right into, I finally finished the hat. I'm going to write this pattern and we're going to put this on the free website patterns later on. It's just a basic, super bulky hat with a little bit of ribbing at the bottom. And I had enough yarn left over that I didn't want to just throw it away, but not enough to make a pom-pom. So I started one, which I'm going to show you in more detail in a second, but I wanted to remind you of how the pom-pom makers work. So they come like this, and you put them together, and then when you're ready to make the pom-pom, you open up the legs on each side. So you have the strangest looking contraption ever. This is where you wind the yarn, and you wind up, that's my tie. Here we go. You just wind yarn around like that. I'm not going to use this to make one, but you wind around and around, cut the yarn, and then wind up the other side as well. Fold it back, fold the legs back, and when you do that, you have this. So each side looks like this. Now, there is a hat and pom-pom maker on Instagram that both Kate and I adore. It's called Flynn Knit, and she does all of this magical stuff with pom-poms just in how she wraps the colors. So I knew I didn't have enough left of the purple. Actually, give me that skein, Kate. So I dug out some Gina, which was basically just a skein of yarn that I had in my repair basket, and I wound up the inside of the pom-pom with this multicolored yarn, and then finished off the pom-pom with the purple. And now I am going to get out my very special super scissors. Nobody touches them but me. And once they're wound up, you then cut into this little slit right here. Oh my goodness.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that. Man, if you need good scissors, these Gingers are the best. There. So we've cut them, and look at that little surprise in there. Before I open it up, I need to tie the center. So I have a doubled strand of the yarn here, which I'm going to feed into that middle ridge. And tie it nice and tight. I almost always use a double strand because inevitably, if I'm pulling this tightly, I break the yarn. So use a double strand, just a simple knot. Now I can open this up, pull the two pieces apart. I think I should open it up. Just like that. Don't step on that, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Give it a shake. Look!
Ooh, it's like
Now,
a geode.
Yeah, it's ready for a, I'm just gonna do a quick haircut. And I'll spend some time really trimming that up later. And the same thing, even though it's not ribbon, I now have 2 strands of yarn, and I will go down on either side of that hat and tie it, put a button in there and tie it nice and tight. Look how fun that pom-pom is.
Really fun.
Cool. Cool. So experiment with yarns. And I have to say that I was not a pom-pom maker aficionado, or like I wasn't really pushing them and always just wrapping my pom-poms around anything that was the size that I wanted. But boy, the pom-pom makers really make the perfect shaped pom-pom. So it's worth an investment. They come in a package of like 3 different sizes. So it's one that it's a tool that I really recommend that you use. And talking about surprises, so we've just about finished the clearance sale, and both Kate and I were really surprised that these ends up being 4 skeins of the Nimbus paints didn't sell. And we finally realized that it was probably because of all the gray on the outside of the skein. And this is why put up, whether it looks like this or in a hank, can be so important to the way yarn looks. So I took the 4th skein of this and I wound it up into a cake, and look, it's a completely different color on the inside than it looks on the outside. And when we wound it up, you can actually see how the color changes from that light gray to dark to that green color, and there is even a little bit of purple in one of them as well. So just a little like idea of, you never really know what you're going to get with these multicolored yarns, and they can be very, very fun and a real surprise. So you can't always judge a ball of yarn by its cover.
But you can dig.
Boom, boom.
You
You can dig in and take a look. Okay, what's the new tool we got? Woohoo! We have a box right here from Lemonwood, which is a division of Dream in Color. And I've been waiting all week to open this box up. I showed you this tool once before, but now we actually have them in. And Kate and I have been sitting here this morning experimenting with it and deciding on how much we would use it. So we've got 2 different kinds, Plant Love and Wool Story. This is called a mini minder, and it comes in a great little cloth case so that you always know where it is, with instructions on how to put it together. And this is what it looks like. You get 3 pieces. This is called Plant Love because it's all different plants in there. This piece goes up through the bottom, and that little shape right there keeps it from falling off. You then put your skein of yarn onto the stick part of it, just like that, and then clip the ring into the top of that. This then goes on your hand or on your wrist. And you're ready to carry your ball of yarn around with you as you knit. Now we started some knitting, and in our talking about how and when and where would you use this, came up with some great ideas. So first of all, if you want to walk and knit, if you don't need to be that focused on your knitting, this is ideally what it was used for. It needs to hang so that well, it doesn't always have to hang, but when it hangs, the whole thing winds very easily, and your yarn will come right off without getting stuck anywhere. But we also thought about all the places you would want to use this where you might not necessarily be walking around. You might be at a bar or cafe, and you want to sit and visit with friends and still knit while you indulge in that little drink. This way you have your yarn right here and in your lap, not in a bag. It's not going to fall off your lap. It's not going to touch the yucky floor. it's just always right where you need it. And you can pull out, like you just saw me, you can pull out the amount of yarn that you need for a row or two, and then go ahead and do it, and then pull out more when you need even more. In the movies, if you knit in the movies, what else did we talk about?
Perfect.
Yeah.
In the line at the grocery store?
Waiting in line.
I do that.
Oh yeah, and at games. If you are traveling to, here comes fall, kids are back in school, soccer season starts, football season starts, lacrosse, field hockey, no matter what game you have to go and watch, this is the perfect way to take your knitting with you. You're not fumbling around with a bag or watching your yarn take off down the steps or travel down the end of an aisle in an airplane.
Dale and Eileen said on an airplane would be great.
On an airplane would be great because it's right there. And again, you don't have to find a place for your bag. You can take it, of course, you're not going to necessarily carry it around like this because it is your knitting, but you could easily carry it in a bag or a project bag like the Jessalu, and then you can put the bag away when you take this out, and it's just right
Especially
there.
if you're like at a small cafe table.
What I really love is if you have to get up, it's Eileen, Decker, don't get mad, but stick your knitting right there and you can get up and go. You're not trying to put it away. You're not trying to find how to get it back in the bag or
you have to like go searching.
You don't have to go searching. You don't have to figure out where all your yarn went because it rolled away and stuff like that.
Bess had a good point. How about just standing instead of sitting?
Exactly. Stay up instead of
like take a break.
Sitting.
Half an hour sitting and half an hour standing.
You could do that. So that's one design, and actually I can take this apart instead of opening that one. This is the other design that we got, and this is the sheep and ball of yarn one. So we have plenty of both. Did you say you put these on the website already? So they're up on the website, available for purchase. They are running about $40. It'll be a little bit more with tax, but I think it's a great idea. Oh look, little mitten sock and ball of yarn on that as well.
Yeah.
So that's the new tool that we have gotten in to help you keep you knitting all the time, everywhere. Then, oh yeah, I wanted to tell you guys that I finally finished the Dustland. This is a pattern by Stephen West, and I taught this class over a year ago, I think. And in my cleaning out of my office, again, I found it stuffed in the bottom of a basket, and I was like, wow, I had the whole body done and was ready to do the sleeves. So I spent some time last week finishing this off, and I love the way this sweater looks. This is done with the Lark from Quince & Company. It's an American wool that is really round and has a good plumpness to it. It's a worsted weight, and that means that it has really great stitch integrity. So I'm sure that even from where the camera is, you can really see those knits and purl stitches really pop out. So that's a good one to do if you really like texture in your knits. So that's finally done. And then we have another fun box opening, and I decided to open it now, even though we technically cannot sell this to you until August 25th. But this is the new book, Observations, from Lane. And oh boy, although I've seen pictures of the sweaters that are in here, I haven't actually seen the book. And since I haven't opened the box, we don't have this on the website yet. But maybe we will by the end of the day. And if you want it, you can pre-order it and we will hold it for you. So it's a nice compact size. Oh, and I remember the other thing about it, which I will show you. This is the second book that has been done like this, And it is a great idea for knitting books, I think. I think that Lane might actually do this with a lot of their books from now on, because it makes so much sense. Patty Lyons was the first one to do this. Not this. But this.
What is it?
If you buy this book and you don't know that it's supposed to do this, you're going to have a moment of panic and think that the book is broken. But what's happening now is that they are binding it like this, so that when you are knitting, Kate can't get over it. Her mind is blown. The pages lay, look at that, they lay flat, completely and totally flat, so that you can read your directions without having to smash the book and break the binding yourself. Is this a brilliant idea?
I had like something like clipped on, and I ended up tearing a page.
Yeah. What are all the little tricks we do? Even if you use a cookbook stand to set it up in front of you, I cannot tell you how flat this is. It feels remarkable. So, like I said, Patty Lyons was the first to try this method, and she got lots of complaints at first because people didn't understand why it looked like this. Well, it looks like that so that you can do this.
It's incredible. Beth said that they should be banned. Cookbooks should do that too.
Cookbooks.
So you don't have to touch the paper.
Exactly. Whoever actually, thought this would be a good idea should be rewarded.
They really should.
The charts are on this particular page are like this. Look it, and I'm under the fan, and it's not even moving. Okay, so what do the patterns look like? Well, here's the cover. So it is a color yoke sweater. Like I said, I haven't looked at them, so give me a minute to peruse, because they have lots of beautiful pictures that are not necessarily of sweaters.
But it's a whole vibe.
It is a whole vibe. There's a great shawl. Here's a really beautiful spider web.
Halloween is coming.
Halloween is coming. Oh my gosh, all I'm doing is hitting the beautiful pictures. Okay, here's another yoked short sleeve sweater. Okay, now we're getting there. There's an awful lot of writing in this book because it's also observations of nature. So there's a bit of prose in here to go along with the beautiful pictures and the great sweaters as well. So there's probably the most colorful sweater that's in the book. Yeah, that's nice. Anyway, so here is Observations. It's a beautifully done book, like all of the Lane books are, and her name is Lotta Lothgren. I don't know her. From Sweden. So that's in the store right now.
So Catherine got here late. She can rewatch, right?
Yeah, Catherine, you can rewatch it. As soon as we're done, we will save it to Facebook and save it to our YouTube channel, and you can catch the whole thing in either one of those places. So, like I said, this is our last week of what I think of as calmness before the real flood of inventory starts coming in. So, if you see behind me, we have lots of open space. We did a lot of moving around and clearing out of the things that we no longer had need for. and you guys took advantage of those sale prices. So thank you very much. You actually helped us a lot in preparing for this fall. So there are some great things coming to us from all of the different companies. Eileen and I had a great time choosing what things you might really want to knit with this season. So keep an eye on Ravelry and keep an eye on our website. I will be sending out an email. I have started a couple of new projects that I'm going to do as classes. I just need to see when and where I can fit them in. So in the meantime, oh yeah, a real quick reminder, I will talk about this again next week, but the following week on the 28th, that's the day that we're going to have Laura from Jewel Designs showing us how to use her shawl pins on a shawl. So if you're working on a shawl, hurry up and get it ready, because you'll want to follow along and try some of the different ways she has of wearing and attaching a shawl. So in the meantime, have a beautiful week, everybody, and definitely go knit something. Bye.